Our next presenter will be Dr. Sarpong. He currently practices as a hospitalist at St. Francis Hospital in Indianapolis, Indiana. He has a knack for creating nonprofit organizations. First was in creating the University of Ghana Medical School nonprofit organization for the class of 1992. And then the second, which he's more known for, is he is the president of the Sarpong Foundation for Reduction of Disease and Poverty, which is another nonprofit organization. He graduated from the University of Ghana Medical School in 1992, and at one point he was the program director of Indiana University Morgan Hospital's hospitalist program. Today he's going to be speaking on improving the lives of disenfranchised population in Ghana. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sarpong.
Thank you very much for coming along today. The mission of the Sarpong Foundation is mainly to break the poverty cycle that we all see in immigrants here in the U.S. and also in Ghana. I am sure most of you have come across people who were very smart when they were in school with us and unfortunately could not get tertiary education, mainly because the breadwinner passed away at the age of 40, 50, very young age. And so we have been thinking about this, and we decided at some point that we would do something about it. There are some chronic medical problems, hypertension, diabetes, coronary artery disease, and other infectious disease processes that most of our parents tend to succumb to. These are very hard-working people. We know that immigrants and Ghanaians are very hard-working, and I believe that if Ghanaians can generally live to be 65, 70, 75, they will work hard and see their kids through the tertiary education, and hopefully the poverty cycle can be broken in those families. We have done quite a bit of work trying to help families, and I can tell you, most of you are already doing this. You just are not putting it into an official business, but you can do that. Most of you are already providing funds to support education of your family members, sometimes friends and people you go to church with. My wife is a lawyer. We decided that we'll put us through some education. She's now a PhD in the management of nonprofit organization, and I have been doing quite a bit of part-time, and so make some income on miscellaneous 1099. I'm sure some of you are probably familiar with miscellaneous 1099. You pay heavy taxes, when you work through that. In 2015, our foundation actually got recognized by the Indiana State. Meanwhile, I have worked free clinics since 2002 to 2016 in 2 different states. So we thought we could reproduce some of these things back home in Ghana. So we formed this foundation. What is the source of funding? We do not take any money from anybody. I don't take any money from any individual. I don't take any money from any organization. It's all funded by me, my wife, and my 3 kids who are students. And again, as I said, you can do this too. One of the things that we have been doing is encouraging us to repatriate money back to Ghana. And for other officials who are here, one of the things I would suggest is please make it easy for Ghanaians abroad to send money back home. Make it very easy. UK and some of these advanced countries are actually putting measures in place to attract people who are very wealthy. There's a visa you can apply for if you're a millionaire and go and live in UK. So why can't we do things to enable Ghanaians or other people to bring money back into the country? some of the things I have even suggested is these corrupt, leaders in other countries that shipped money to Europe. Forgive them, give them immunity, and let them bring all that money back home. No, I'm serious. They're not going to bring the money home right now. We're losing. They have so much money there. Why don't you do it? Give them immunity and tell them whatever you bring back, you're forgiven, a prodigal son, let them bring the money back home. Our colleagues in Ghana are doing a really great job. I can see, I chose this 50,000 thing because there is something we call an e-postcard. If you have a foundation and you're spending up to about 50,000, it only takes 2 minutes to file a tax on that. 2 minutes. You don't have to put in any figures. That's it. You have to keep receipts of everything you do. But you don't have to put in any figures at all. And again, some of us are already doing this. Just make it official. And you're allowed to contribute 50% of your adjusted gross income. Some people here are probably paying $100,000 or more as taxes. Why can't you give Ghana 50% of that and still get credit for it? You can do it. So, I again mentioned, I think I talked about this already. What is our plan? What have we been doing so far? We identified chronic medical problems, the very things that our parents succumb to. Diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension. It's kind of expensive to manage diabetes and then some of the other chronic problems. So we chose hypertension. We don't have a whole lot of resources, but you can put in so much with high blood pressure. You don't need big equipment. Blood pressure monitors are cheap. Blood pressure medicines are cheap. So we chose hypertension. And that's what my foundation has been doing right now. We've also instituted a small scholarship program. Again, the goal is to get people into the university. So if I can let a parent live long enough and have him work hard and see the kids through education, great. There are going to be some parents, no matter how hard they work, they will still not be able to pay for tuition. So we have a small scholarship program that we have been funding. This is our location in Ghana, and the reason we have this is if I have volunteers who go with me to Ghana, they don't have to book hotels. You can live in this place here, and of course you have to do your own cooking. And so that's our location in Ghana. What have we been doing? In 2015, we checked the blood pressure of 235 people, and 30 of them needed blood pressure medicines. And then additional 25 were borderline. We checked them again, and 17 ended up needing medication. Just last year, we checked 216. In 2016, we checked 478 patients, and 59 of them are on our list. So we have 80 plus people in Ghana who are getting medicines from me and my family completely free. We don't take any money from anybody or any individual. Most of the time we use amlodipine, very good medicine, and then sometimes Maxide. Occasionally we use metoprolol, ACE, or ARB. I try and stay away from these because we don't have, lab monitoring on these patients. How do we specifically do this? We pick a church, and then we liaise with a pastor. We tell them we come in on this particular day. On that particular day, it's usually a Sunday. We choose not to do any preaching in that church, and then I give a health talk. Right after the health talk, all the adults line up, we have tables set up, and I liaise with nurses in Ghana. Every church now has a nurse. If there's a pharmacist, even better. So I liaise with them, I give them the blood pressure monitors, we check everybody's blood pressure, we identify those who need medicines, and I supply the medicines for them for the whole year. We give them a month at a time. We leave the medicines with a responsible person there so that they can come in and then get their refills. Here in the US, we have a form you have to fill, so we screen, and once you're approved, we get your medicines either through Good Treatment or Walmart or Kroger. They have really cheap medications that you can provide. We try to stick with generics. This is what we sent in 2015. This is what we sent in 2016. And this is what we're going to be sending in 2017. This is my daughter. I'm checking blood pressure on one of our patients. And then this is my middle son. This was just last year. I try to get the kids involved in these activities a lot. And this is my oldest son. This is one group that we talk to. And that's me right there. Look at somebody's blood pressure, 225 over 137. And we all know hypertension is so common. At time bomb, they have no symptoms. And another one, 193, 141. And by the way, I checked this again. It wasn't just a fluke. That's one of our nurses there. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So I rewarded the kids with a trip on the boat to lake after they had done all that hard day's work. Private scholarship is something we're trying to look into at the moment. Because of our limited financial resources, we're only going to be able to support 4 people, and these are not family members. We originally thought we could do 10, but we can do only 4 at the moment. What we have done is we actually invest in the capital. You could buy treasury bills, you can put them into other investment accounts, so that at the end of the year, you only need to add just a little bit to sponsor these students. You don't have to eat up your capital. And we estimated that we probably will be spending this year about $7,000 on tuition alone. Some of the problems we have encountered so far, it's amazing. We get the blood pressure down on some of these patients. They come for refills first month, second month, they don't show up again. And the way we have been doing it actually is, after the blood pressures have been recorded over there whilst I'm here, the nurses will scan them and then email them to me. And then I will print them, make the adjustments on the doses on that same paper, let them know if they need to have an increase in, say I started them on 5 milligrams of amlodipine, and in a month's time, blood pressures are not to target goal. I would just ask them, next time they come in for their refill, give them 10 milligrams. And then I scan it and then email it back to the nurse there. They don't, some of them just won't show up, and when you ask them why, and this is church, so they're going to show up at church. We don't have to follow them up by calling them on the phone. We can. We have access to their phone numbers. But they show up at church, they're doing herbs. They're trying herbs. We've gotten your blood pressure down. You can actually objectively see it. And now you choose to go and do herbs. And you ask them why. It's not because the medicines are bothering them. They're not having any unusual side effects from it. They just want to try herbs. And I have been educating Ghanaians when we need to emphasize that some of them feel that if they're not sick, they don't need to take any medicine. Meanwhile, they're dying from it or having complications from strokes. One of the other problems we've also encountering right now is how to send the medicines there. As we get bigger, I can anticipate some problems. So I probably would need the help from the embassy or whichever organization and how to send this money, this medicines there without having to pay taxes on them, because that's really gonna mess us up if we have to pay taxes on medicines that we're sending completely free. And then a question of, having non-pharmacists who have to store medicines and dispense medicines. That is also something we are working on at the moment. Other problems have been with security. We are all aware of that. But one way we've been able to minimize this is we have access to CCTV at the location, so I know anybody who goes in and then comes out. And these days, some of these CCTVs actually have audio on them, so you can play an alarm, you can actually talk to the person there, and this has really reduced theft. You cannot, certainly, it doesn't replace a trustworthy person, and I will tell you, there are people in Ghana you can trust. Sometimes you may just have to look beyond your family members, and some family members feel entitled, so they will do things the way you want them to do. You can find a stranger you can 100% trust, and God willing, we found somebody that we trust, and he is doing an excellent job. There's high speed available in Ghana. Vodafone does it, and there's another company called Teledata ICT. They have high speed unlimited for an equivalent of $50 a month. This is awesome. So we're doing very well. Bottom line is that, and I'm saying this, is do not let the corruption you hear about or the bad news you hear about prevent you from doing something in Ghana. We have a lot more investment opportunities in Ghana than we have here. And if you are doing any job and you receive a 1099 miscellaneous form, this is for you. Look into it. And I say Walmart is a very good example. People steal from Walmart all the time, but at the end of the year they make profit. So don't allow theft to prevent you from doing the things you believe in. Don't allow the corruption that goes around to prevent you from doing the things you believe in. People are basically the same everywhere. These are our future plans. In 2018, we're actually going to be sending a van. It's a mobile van. We're going to be running from one district to the other. It's mainly screening. We will probably get into diabetes. We will not be able to treat them, but we can create the awareness. Sometimes just the fact that the person is aware that now I have diabetes, they might get an uncle or somebody to try and help them pay for some of their medicines. We thought about schools even before this present government, came in to do the free SSS. This is one of the things that we were looking into, investing into education. And then the other one that I am so thrilled about, I worked in Iowa, and who knows what's in Iowa? It's farms. And so I'm so thrilled about our organization actually getting into farming in Ghana as an investment. So this is something that we have talked about before the present government started talking about farming. Farming is awesome. And if we can get into it, I believe we can probably find 1,000 people in North America who will be willing to invest 50,000 every year. We divide ourselves into 10, and so it would be 100 people in each region. And if we move in there with $50,000 every year, we're managing it ourselves. There's no middleman. No middleman. You're doing it yourself. Can you imagine what's going to happen in 10 years? We can change the country. We can change the country. Just 1,000 Ghanaians. We can change that country. We don't need government funds. We don't. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
Thank you very much for the wonderful work you were doing. I was going to ask about continuity of care in terms of blood pressure monitoring, but you addressed that. The next thing that I want to bring up, not necessarily a question, but a comment, is that yes, it's easier to work with churches, and sometimes it's easier to work with an organization in which you know people and you have established contacts, but I would say in the future, look for creative ways of expanding your program to include other religious organizations. And also, schools would be a good place to also start, especially with high school students, because once we educate them, they can help their parents in in making sure that they are compliant or adherent to their medications and the education you provide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for the presentation. My question is, did you need a registration with Medical and Dental Council to undertake such a screening program? And if you did, was there any impediments in the way?
No, actually, we don't have any registration with the Medical and Dental Council, and I'm not sure. Yes, I still have my registration in Ghana, if that's what you mean. So I'm still licensed to practice medicine in Ghana. My certificate is current. We actually are registered in Ghana. Sarpong Foundation for the Sarpong Foundation for Reduction of Disease and Poverty is registered in Ghana with the Registrar General's Department. What we are working now on is trying to get it to become a non-profit recognized by the Ghana government. We haven't been able to go through that process yet, but it's a registered company in Ghana.
Thank you very much for your presentation and the good work we're doing. But there are two things maybe you have to do. The new tax regime is going to prevent you from doing a lot of things, especially getting tax waivers. What I would advise you to do is that anything you want to bring to the country which you want tax waiver, pass it through or consign it to Ghana Health Service or Ministry of Health. Sure. It's the easiest way, and then we will go for it and get it for free. If you don't do that, it will be locked up at the box. The next thing that you are doing, which say you are going to bring a fund for medical screening. Yes, the new policy is also to do medical screening and awareness clinics. But there are a lot of people working in Ghana who don't even know that they have hypertension. Right. So you hear control soon. The 2-year-old gets right. So Ghana Health Service is now going to institute awareness clinics. Sure. From the lowest level, the chief center, to the highest level. Sure. And your fund will be very useful if you can join together. So what I will tell you should do, let your foundation formally come to Ghana Health Service. And let's work together. And then we will do this thing together. What you want to do, that we want every Ghanaian, the month of his or her birthday, can be able to walk into any clinic from the chief center and go and have a screening. We tell it, go, every adult should go for weed. For children go for weed when they are not sick. So an adult can also go for weed when he or she is not sick. So I think we can work together and then make this thing work very well.
Thank you.
Sarpong, you did a great job. But I wonder why you limited it to just family support only. You have a credible organization. Why not accept external funding? If someone wants to give, why not? Why not?
Right, and the main reason has been, we all know how complicated everything gets once you start soliciting funds